Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Forensic Focus. I'm your host, Charles Amodio with FAZ Forensics. At FAZ Forensics, we specialize in forensic accounting and business valuation. When answers matter, FAZ delivers. Today, I'd like to introduce my guest and my colleague, Emma Patterson. Emma, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Charlie. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Good. Not too much, not too much. Just hanging out in our Boston office today.
How's the weather today in Boston?
It's pretty good. It was raining a bit this morning. It was kind of a washout, pretty windy and chilly this morning. I know some towns around Boston got some snow, which is kind of not the best for April 4th, but
I hear you.
not too
I hear
bad.
you.
This afternoon looks pretty good.
Yeah.
How about where you are? You're in Michigan, right?
I'm in Michigan. It's pretty dry here, and the weather's actually not too bad. I know in
Oh, nice.
Saratoga Springs we had about 3 to 4 inches. But it's not sticking on the roads, which is good, and they're probably melting by the end of the weekend, which is good as well. So
Oh, good. Yeah,
yeah, it's supposed to be like
that's
60
good.
degrees in Saratoga on Monday. So
Yeah, same
um,
here. It's supposed to be
yeah,
about 60.
yeah. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to
Me
that.
too. Looking
So
forward to the
any
weather getting nicer.
yes, that's always a plus, especially in
Yeah.
April. You know,
Yeah.
those April snow showers, they always they're a little disheartening, but we know that the warmer weather is right behind it. So they usually doesn't last too
Exactly.
long, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's going on in your neck of the woods? Any good news to share?
Um, Same old stuff. Besides, I mean, I just got engaged, so that's exciting. That's some big news in my
A-
life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's very
Any
exciting.
any dates picked out yet, or are you guys still going through that process?
I I think we're looking around fall 2025.
Okay.
I've been reaching out to some venues, so trying to figure out like where we want to do it, what type of a venue we want to do it, what state we want to do it in.
Okay.
Because our family is kind of dispersed from Maine, Connecticut, Massachusetts, so somewhere in the
Okay.
vicinity. But yeah, it's kind of I feel like now is kind of like the stressful time of planning, and then it'll get more fun.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I was going to ask you that question. You know, are you guys looking in Boston or somewhere else? But it sounds like you're looking in a couple of different spots.
Yeah, probably somewhere outside of the city. It's a little bit
Okay.
cheaper, more room, maybe by the water. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Not totally
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
All
see
right.
some places
Still
and figure
still
out
in the
what we want
planning
to do.
phase, right?
Yeah, it's very new, so
Excellent.
we'll
That's
see.
exciting. That's exciting.
It is.
Congratulations. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much.
So as far as you're obviously in our Boston office,
Yep.
and I don't hear an accent. So why don't I hear an accent?
Yeah, so I actually grew up in Maine. So I grew up in southern Maine, Kennebunk. And then I went to school at Merrimack College in North Andover, Massachusetts. So I've been in the Boston area since then, but I grew up in Maine. So some people say I have a little bit of a Maine accent, but not really. I think my dad, my grandparents definitely have a Maine accent, but
Okay.
mine's not as pronounced.
I don't detect any Boston or Maine accent for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And actually my roommate, my old roommate was from Michigan, so I actually have like
Okay.
I feel like I've picked up on a little bit of her accent weirdly. Sometimes people ask me like where if I'm from Michigan or something like that, and I'm like absolutely not.
Right,
So it
right.
is funny. I don't know. I don't really have a Maine or Boston accent.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
is
what
funny.
what are you reading now?
I'm actually studying for my ABB exam, so that's kind of what I'm reading for quote unquote fun. Um, so other than that, no real books for pleasure or joy, but I haven't really read any lately because I did my CPA and then I took some time off from reading for a little while and then hopped into my ABV. So that's about it, but it is exciting. It's fun to learn more about what I do on a day-to-day basis, so that's always good.
How's the ABV exam going?
It's going well. There's two parts, and I just passed the first part.
Okay, great.
So, yeah. So I have the second part to go. I haven't started studying for that one just yet. I'm gonna give it like a week or two and then hop back into it. and hopefully get that done pretty soon. But yeah, it's going well. It's
Good.
quite interesting, honestly.
Okay. Okay. So you're
Yeah.
obviously, involved in business valuation, and obviously do a lot of valuation work for our firm.
Yeah.
Any cases that you've worked on recently you want to talk about or tell us about? Any interesting cases that you've been working on?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of cases for marital dissolution purposes, and that's kind of like what we see a lot of the time, but sometimes we do deal with like mergers and acquisition valuations, which are also really interesting. I know one that we recently did was kind of based on more so like investment value. It was a gentleman that was looking to sell his company, and he basically was going to receive an offer, and he wanted to make sure that he knew what the value of his company was, so that when he got the offer, he knew whether the offer was quote unquote fair or not, whether it was in the ballpark of what his business was truly worth. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Very smart guy. He obviously knew that he should know the value of his company and not just say, okay, look, we got this offer. Do I like it? Do I not like it? So he wanted to have like some basis on that. And we kind of went in and we said, I think this company is going to be able to increase your sales. They're going to increase your revenue. They're going to not have to pay some of these expenses. So they're going to actually take what your company is doing right now, and they're going to make it grow exponentially. They're going to really improve your operations. So we don't obviously know how much they're going to improve it, but we'll say, okay, if you think that they're going to improve it by 10% or 20% or 30% or so forth, here's what your business would be valued at. So it was kind of interesting because we kind of gave him a range and different percentages, and then we kind of gave it to him and said, look, this is what your business would be worth based on these assumptions. What do you think that they're going to do with your company?
Okay.
So
Interesting.
that was a pretty interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I kind of like those cases where we can kind of work with the client to figure out what they think that the acquiring company is going to do with their operations.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. And now you've only been with FAZ for a short while. Obviously,
yeah, 6 months.
Yes, 6 months. Wow, hard to believe. Seems like you've been here longer.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good thing, though. It's good. It's been great. It's
good.
Absolutely great.
What do you like most about FAZ?
Honestly, there's a lot of things that I love. I think what I love most is that the partners are not unwilling to collaborate with anyone. Like, you would be willing to collaborate with anyone, if I were to guess, in the firm. Like, partners, interns, and anyone in between. There's no there is like a hierarchy, there is like a separation of duties, but it's so undefined. Like, it's not like an intern should ever feel like they cannot approach a partner about something, no matter how silly or outrageous the question is or anything like that. Everyone's very willing to communicate. Everybody has like a total open door policy at any point. I've never felt intimidated by anyone or somebody's not approachable. So the collaboration between all levels of the company is just really unmatchable. I feel like it's really impressive. It makes for a really good work environment. It's we're all working together to get the task done at the end of the day.
Okay, great. That's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Any other interesting cases you've worked on? I know obviously you've only been here for about 6 months, but any other interesting cases you've been involved in?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all pretty interesting, to be honest. It's always interesting when business valuation cases kind of turn into forensic accounting cases, and vice versa sometimes, but usually it's business valuation cases turning into forensic cases when, sometimes we look through tax returns and general ledgers and things, and we can see that there's clearly personal assets, personal expenses, things like that. And it's always interesting to then have to go back to them and say, this is kind of like a forensic analysis at the same time. So then it kind of turns into both engagements, but it is interesting to kind of have both sides of the engagement and be able to do a little bit of the forensic analysis too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know that a lot of times, those valuation cases and the forensic cases go hand in hand, and Uh, Obviously, a lot of us are getting involved in those types of cases.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
What so what else is going on? What else is new in your life?
Um, Honestly, not too much. I just went on a trip to go visit my dad in Florida. That was good. I got a few days off from work in the beautiful sunshine, and it was great to see my dad. We played a lot of pickleball. Um, Went to the beach. It was beautiful there, so it was a great getaway.
Yeah, pickleball is such a growing sport. I
Oh
play it
yeah.
from time to time. I'd like to play a lot more. So always trying to
I
find
know, me
time to
too.
do that. But I played. I was in Texas a few weekends ago, and I played with my younger brother plays quite a bit with a group,
Really?
and we played a few times. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is. It's a good game. It's always impressive to me when I go to Florida and all these ladies and gentlemen that are 80 plus years old can absolutely crush me on the court because they don't even move their feet sometimes. They're just
yeah,
like they have such an eye for it, and it
yeah,
really is like such a close knit game if you play it well.
yeah,
So it's impressive how good they are, and I'm like I just love it. It's great. It's really I don't know, it's just awesome to see such a sport that can include every different lifestyle, age, everything like that. It's
yeah.
so inclusive. It's really
Ab
cool.
abs Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, did you play any tennis growing up or anything like that? Or
I mean I played a little bit when I was young, but not really. I was never very good at it. I would always hit the ball too hard, so that's why pickleball is actually pretty good because
okay,
it if you go from playing tennis to pickleball in the same day, you're probably not going to hit the ball very well in
right,
pickleball.
right,
You have to hit it so much harder, so it's
absolutely.
better for me.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, did you do any sports or athletics and things like that?
Yeah, so I actually I did gymnastics from the age of like I don't know, I want to say like 4 years old or something. I think I started going to like mommy and me classes, and then I did that all throughout until I want to say like a freshman year of high school, and then I
Okay.
got into diving,
Oh,
and then I did that in high school, and then after high school I got back into gymnastics during college.
oh,
So
okay.
kind of flip-flop between the two, but they're very similar. They're a lot alike.
So
So
did you do yeah, absolutely. Did you do gymnastics for the college or just on the
yeah, so
side?
it was like a club team. So it
Club
was
team. Okay, yeah.
nothing like too competitive, but it was
Okay.
fun, kept me in shape, kept me
Yeah.
active, gave me something to do, something to meet people doing.
Okay.
So it was like perfect for me too, because I was very focused on my school. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I always did other sports too. I've tried lacrosse, field hockey. What else have I tried? Track, softball. I've tried them all, I feel like,
Okay.
but none of them, I wasn't good at any of them. So
Okay. All right. Have you tried to play golf at all yet or
I have, yes. So I actually started right before I met Logan, my fiance.
yeah.
So I started right before I met him, and he's really good at golf. He golfed at Bentley in
Yeah.
school, so he's been
Yeah.
golfing forever. Um, so he was happy that I would at least be willing to learn. So he's taught me a lot over the years.
Okay.
I'm consistently inconsistent, but at least I can admit it and
Yeah.
pick my ball up and keep going.
I
But
think I
it's
think
fun. It's fun to get out there.
it is. It is. I think most of us are consistently inconsistent, unfortunately. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
play a lot. And I know I
Oh
spoke
yeah.
to Logan a little bit. I know he's a really good golfer. He can actually he can give me some lessons some point. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
He
We'll
says
see.
he's not very good anymore because he doesn't play nearly as much as he used to. But
Yeah,
he's way better than I am, so I can learn from him,
yeah.
that's for sure.
Not good for him is a lot better than most of us. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what outside of work, what do you like to do?
Well, in the summer times, I like to golf and play pickleball.
Okay.
Other than that, I like to go visit my family. My family's still in Saco and Wells, Maine, so pretty close to each other. Up north, and that's always beautiful in the summer. Like to go boating, like to hike. pretty outdoorsy in the summer, spring, summer, fall months. Like to be outside. And then in the wintertime, I love to ski.
Okay.
So it wasn't a great winter for it this past year, but
No. Yeah.
I only got out there a few times, but I do love to ski.
Where do you like to go skiing?
I usually go to Sunday River up in Maine.
Okay.
That's where I've grown up going there. We have a house up there, so it's nice to be able to go and have the short drive, because from Boston it's probably like 4 hours, 4.5 hours maybe.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a hike, but it's nice to have the house up there that we can access.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there something about you that nobody knows that you want to like share with us today? Maybe not nobody knows, but not everybody would know about you that you want to share with us today.
I have a dog. I have a puppy.
Okay.
That's a fun fact that I haven't
Yeah, fun
mentioned.
fact. So what kind of dog do you have?
She's a miniature Bernedoodle.
Okay.
Her name's Hazel.
Hazel. Okay.
So she's like 1.5 years old. She's like my
Wow.
life. I love
Okay.
her. I'm obsessed. So yeah, she's great. She's great to have around.
They're great companions, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine what life was like before her, to be honest.
Right? Right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
we have
really fun.
we have two Goldens.
Those
And
Goldens are great.
they're a handful. They're about they'll be 3 this summer, and
Oh,
they've been
really?
great. Yeah. Yeah,
So they're the same age?
they are the same age, yes. Yeah, I think they're a couple of weeks apart because they're from different breeds, but
Yeah.
they've been Moose and Maggie. That's their
Aw.
names. Yeah. Yeah,
I love
they're
the name
cute.
Moose for a dog.
Yes, yes.
That's cute.
Yeah, he's great. And, it's funny. He he's much bigger than Maggie, and he's definitely a moose. He's got a big head on him, and he's very playful, and he's a good dog. He's a good dog.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah,
They're such
20 years ago, if you told me I'd be talking about my dogs on a podcast, I would tell you you're crazy, Usually,
Really?
well, yeah, my wife's a dog person, and we got dogs because of her, and
And now you've fallen in love.
well, yeah, they're great, and they're great with the kids. I see how great they are with our kids, and that's always a lot of fun. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I think unfortunately, most of my conversations digress into hockey, and because all my kids play hockey. That's why I'm in Michigan for
Oh,
the national
nice. Yeah.
tournament for my daughter, and so it's
Yeah.
they usually and matter of fact, Friday night we're going to an NHL game. The Rangers are playing Detroit Friday night, so we're
Oh,
actually going to
nice.
that game, which will be exciting. Yeah, yeah, we're
Nice.
looking
That's
forward to
great.
that.
Is your daughter playing in a game tonight, or was that
She
yesterday?
she had a game yesterday. They won 3-2.
Oh, nice.
No,
Okay.
4-3. They won 4-3. No, 4-2 yesterday.
Wow,
4-2
good.
yesterday. Today they lost 3-2 in overtime.
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
a
so
bummer.
they play tomorrow, and if they
Yeah.
win tomorrow, they qualify for the elimination round this weekend. So they need
Good.
to win tomorrow. So and
Good.
they played really well today. It's
Okay.
overtime.
Yeah.
Overtime's always tough in hockey. So
Yeah.
see there, my
Yeah.
conversations go digressing to hockey. There we
That's
go.
okay. Well,
There we
good luck
go.
to her tomorrow. Hopefully they
Thank you.
win.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent.
Good.
Well, hey, that's all the time that we have for today. Emma, I want to thank you
Okay, great.
for coming on to the FAZ podcast and the Forensic
Absolutely.
Focus podcast. And it was great chatting and getting to talk to you a little bit, about you and what you do. And
Yes, you as
I'll
well.
talk to you
Thank you very
soon.
much. Great. Thank you for having me.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.